Hello, this is StyleCon coming at you today from Pints Bar and Grill in downtown Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Today I'm enjoying a Romeo and Juliet cigar while we get into the discussion for this video. And this video is primarily about purchasing watches when you're married or you have a girlfriend. My advice to you is, and actually I'll give you a simple story. When I got married, for the first time, I've only ever been married once though, my wife was worried about her credit. And, she said if anything ever happened, we got divorced, she wanted to make sure that she had her own credit and she didn't have to start all over again, which is a good idea. And then obviously I hear a lot of videos about men talking about wives leaving them and this and that. And this can alleviate that problem if, God forbid, you end up getting a divorce. When we got together, she wanted her credit, which I'm fine with. So we talked about it. She had her account, I had my account, and then we had a joint account for the bills. For the mortgage, for the lights, the phone, the cable, food. We put that in one account. So she had her money to do what she wanted. I had my money to do what I wanted. Made life easier. So if you have a girlfriend and you're just starting out or you're considering getting married, this is perfect advice. Now, I never made a major purchase without talking to my wife. I would never sit there and buy a new car and say, okay, honey, I picked up this new car. Oh, look what I have. It's like, well, we never talked about it. And vice versa. She would make a major purchase, she would tell me, but now she didn't need my permission and I didn't need her permission because needless to say, she had her own money. As long as the bills were paid every month and the money was put in that account, she didn't care what I did with my money and I didn't care what she did with her money. That can make life so much simpler when you think about it. It's a simple thought process, but it can save you a lot of headaches in the long term. Other thing is, gentlemen, if you want that big fancy car, that Mercedes, that Lexus, maybe downgrade a little bit. You buy a Lexus for $40,000 or $50,000. You buy a BMW or Mercedes for $50,000 to $70,000. Those cars in the long run aren't going to be worth any money. You're going to lose money. Obviously, as we all know, cars are not investments. They're a tool. Basically, you drive it to work. If you work 8 to 10 hours a day, it sits out front. You drive it home. You go to sleep. The car is there for another 8 hours, 9 hours, whatever. Then you drive it back and forth to work. Basically, get yourself a less expensive car. Get yourself a Honda Accord. Highly recommend those, and they actually have decent resale value. And that extra money that you didn't pay for that fancier car, you can use that to purchase your wristwatches. And that's a win because watches can go up in value. Today, I have on my Panerai. What I paid for this watch, and I've had it for a few years now, I can get my money back. You can't do that with a car. You spend $60,000, great, nice car. It sits most of the time and you're just driving it from point A to point B. Your luxury wristwatch you can use every single day, and then you can get your money back if you ever decide to sell it or possibly trade it. I don't know about you, but there's not too many things that I can purchase or you can purchase that holds their value. The other thing is, talk to your girlfriend or your wife about the purchases. Let them know. Show them. Just don't tell them I'm going to go buy a $5,000 watch. Hey, look. This Rolex Submariner, it sells for $5,000. But let's look on eBay. Look what they're selling for on eBay. They're selling for $5,000, $4,500. You're going to get your money back. Basically, if you buy a luxury wristwatch and you hold on to it for a few years, and if you want to wear it every day, you're ahead of the game. Give you another quick story. I bought my first Breitling, wore it every day for 10 years. I sold the watch. Basically, when I got rid of it, I doubled my money. I mean, you cannot do this with a car. So if you want to purchase a car, great That's up to you. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. I'm just here for a little advice. Maybe downgrade the car, or maybe even downgrade your house a little bit. I could live in a more expensive house. Where I live at, property values here are relatively decent. I live in a city between Baltimore and Philadelphia. Prices for those homes are outrageous. You can buy the same house here, if not larger, and save yourself 50% of the money. So when you're considering, what you want to do with your money, I'm not going to be tied down to a mortgage. The wife and myself, every month, we're going to have to worry about paying this. Not going to happen. I want to live a little bit. But explain this to the wife. Hey, look, honey, I want to get this watch. It's a great investment. Some of them can be investments. Right now, I just visited my friend in Towson, Maryland. And we were talking about the Rolex Daytona that had the Zenith movement. And at one time, you could get those fairly cheap because when Rolex brought their own movement to the market, nobody wanted those. And now he's telling me you can't touch those for under, say, $15,000. I could foresee that because Zenith only supplied them with 50,000 movements a year. So they couldn't make a lot of Daytonas. And Rolex makes a lot of watches. They make over 800,000 wristwatches a year. So you can explain that to your wife, and you can show her through eBay and just checking out jewelry stores that sell high-end watches and what they're selling for. Now, when you go to buy your watch, obviously you always want to try to make sure it's pre-owned. And if you can, because there are jewelry stores that do this, where I buy my watches, they offer a 15-month warranty, and then everything is serviced before it's sold to the consumer. So you don't have to worry about, hey, I just spent $5,000. Now I got to spend $500, $600, $700 or more to have the watch serviced. So make sure, you explain all this. Make sure you know all this. And then hopefully you can have a happy transition because there's things she might like. Coach bags. I used to buy those for my wife all the time. Coach bags have horrible resale value. The bags I was spending $300, $400 to get her. Go to eBay and look what they're selling them for. $50, $60, $10, $20. No resale value at all. But my wife enjoyed the bags. I liked making her happy. So I purchased those for her. And once again, if you like your watches and they can make you happy, or make you feel better about yourself, knowing you have something that you really want, sit down and explain that to her, and maybe explain the handbag scenario too. Or she might like shoes. I had a friend, his wife collected Longaberger baskets, and she had hundreds of them. Bags or baskets cost her a little bit of money, but they don't have that great of a resale value unless you get into the limited editions. So the key to this video is open communication, explain your point, show your point, and hopefully you won't have any problems. Once again, this is StyleCon. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch my video. If you enjoyed the content, please give it a thumbs up. I will be making more videos in the near future, so if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. Oh, if I can even talk right, please subscribe. And as usual, I'll see you in the next video.